some special guests, man. We always got my man, my Asian persuasion, he ain't retired on me for a minute. So I had to bring my main man, Joe. What's up, man? Man, if you don't know who Joe is literally the main man. Like, he's the man behind the scenes making stuff happen at Nassau Investments Academy, baby. Hey, man, and we got somebody special today, man. Joe, who we got special today with us, man? Oh, man, that's amazing, man. So look, guys, have you ever wondered if you could do a big deal? Have you ever been told that big deals are for big money people? Have you been told you have to have money in order to do large deals like this? Well, today we're going to figure out if that's really true. Can you do big deals? Do you have to be around money? Like, did you have to be rich when you did these deals? Well, today we're going to figure that all out. And Danny is going to break it down to us and share with us on how he's been moving forward, putting hotel deals together. Everybody give it up for my man, Danny Gould. And some have you unplugged me. Yep. We coming back one day. There you go, man. You know, he ain't got no love for me, bro. Walt, man, godly. Hey, Walt, how you doing? Oh, Walt can hear us. Oh,
I am fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. There you go. Hey, Danny, what's up with you? Now, listen, guys, if y'all didn't know, man, watch out for Danny, man, because Danny over there doing CrossFit. I think that's why his hair got taller, man. Like, I ain't got nothing to work with, but, you know, he got it, brother. So, Danny, man, you're working on a hotel deal. That's, first of all, crazy. Is this your first hotel deal that you're working on? Okay, let's get down to something right here quick. So, are you rich? Okay, you're not rich. Okay, all right, we're getting there. Where were you doing before though? Like, you were running some type of business. You had a lot of people under you. Tell us about that. Let's figure out where you came from and then how you come to put. You got what, like 16 million under contract right now? Is that about accurate? Yeah. I don't know. Welcome to the big leagues, baby. Welcome to the big leagues. So tell us, Danny, you got a 16 million between two hotels under contract, but you weren't always in the hotels. Tell us, what were you doing before that? Mm-hmm. Okay. Really? Okay. Wait a minute. How are you from Silicon Valley and you're not in the tech world? Like, everybody's a techie if you're from Silicon, right? I mean, proper. Uh-huh. Hey, Walt, is my Instagram turned up? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead, Danny. Right. Yeah. Now you were acting as a broker or a realtor, or you were like an investor or what? Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh yes, they are. Now say now EXT or EXP or whatever. That's like online brokerage. Is that a fair statement? And so then you ended up having a team. Like how many people did you have under you? What? How are you managing 35 people, bro? Like they were out like you had 35 and like did you feed them the leads? Like how did you bring those people on there to build that up like that? Huh? Yeah, you can say it. Go ahead, man. I'll let you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. What? Wait. Hold on. You can't slide that in there. You want to own and buy hotels and then build one on the Vegas Strip? Is that what I heard? Oh my, that's amazing. Okay, all right. Big, hairy, audacious, good right there. Big, hairy, audacious, go. Okay, so my man want to build like so. I don't even know anything small on Vegas Strip, baby. Like that's like I mean, at minimum, I don't even know if it's 500 million. If that's even small over there. Like Vegas is like on some $1 billion joints. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So wait, all right. So Silicon Valley, and then we get 35 people under you. Like, what was your peak in revenue with 35 brokers? Now, is that commissions or that was just overall sales for the year? What was that in property wise? Yeah. So you had a team that was selling $70 million worth of properties, took 2 million in revenue, and you were managing that. Like, how did that help you move from? Well, then you said you shrank down to what, eight or 18 or 18 agent, 8 agents. And what else kind of was COVID part of that as well, or that was just really your shift to say, you know what, it's time for me to make my move, and why did you want to leave that kind of volume? Yeah. What? Mm, mm. Yeah, that's right. Right? Yeah. What? That's crazy. Come on, you got to share some numbers. So, on a $600 million team, they sold 600 million in properties. They're managing all these agents. What, after all said and done, what were they taking home? Mm-hmm. 10 to 15 million is commission. That's a wow. That's a lot of revenue. Now it's not bad, but that's a lot. That's a lot of work for 5 to 700. Yes and no, kind of, sort of. Like no equity, like work and commissions, but like because like you only eat what you kill, right? And so if your team don't kill nothing, they ain't eating nothing. And making 5 to 700, they can put that same effort managing. They probably had what 100 agents, probably or more, over 100 some agents. They could have managed that to help them produce even more money. Just in the probably just needed a different model. Hmm. I got you. Hmm. 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 Mm-hmm. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, I know exactly that one, man. Yeah, he's talking about like his friend like was really intelligent, and one of them worked. They were like he was like Warren was like this guy was smarter than me, and he went to the steel industry, which was the best industry to be in, and but I caught the tailwind. I got in stocks and I blew up. And my guy, he just, yeah, I mean, he did okay, but he didn't do Warren Buffett okay. Yes, that's right. That's right. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. Yes. I got you. Absolutely. That's what's up. Now, yeah, now, and then when I first met you, you were talking about you really was kind of focusing on in the Bay, well, Napa Valley or somewhere around there, kind of trying to find a boutique brand. And I mean, you've been searching through deals, and so tell me how you go from there to you're in Napa Valley, and then you say, "Oh, here's some low hanging fruit in Memphis, Tennessee." Absolutely. No, no. We listen. Here, okay, if we want to give the disclosure, okay, Danny Gold, successful team agent, is breaking away to go after the dream of grabbing the bag of the hotel industry, the hospitality industry, and he just put his first two deals under contract, and we're gonna see if Danny puts it all together. And guess what? If Danny doesn't, who gives a shit? Because Danny's going to figure it out on the next deal. I just want to be clear. I don't know if you know, but like when I first started, I probably put, I don't know, 5 or 6 hotels under contract and worked on it failed miserably at one before I even got my first deal. So, like, dude, it's the start. It's the journey, bro. Like, oh my, he's 6 months in and he's already got a hotel under contract. Like, people don't even know. First of all, Danny, you got past the first part. Some people don't even know you can own a hotel. They're like, what? You can own a hotel? Like, I thought only rich people or franchises owned hotels. So, ow. Like, for you, like, people, I don't even people know, but I couldn't even get an accepted contract. I'm about to think it's some white thing going on here, man. No, it had nothing to do with that, man. I mean, literally, it's all about your network. But Danny, come on, tell us about it seriously. How'd you end up like? Because I know you were kind of looking at Napa Valley. What made you change from there, and then you find this deal in Memphis? Really? Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes, she does. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Ah. Yep. 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 Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And why would you say that? What, like, why would that not be a smart thing to do? Okay. Okay. Yeah. You're showing off. He's showing off. Mm-hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so an amazing opportunity vehicle, but there's a little bit more risk involved,
Yes.
right?
Yes, it is.
There's a little bit more risk involved. So it's already risky, right? So
Mm-hmm.
number one, and then you're going to then you're going to layer on top of that the added risk of like doing all of these, repairs and making it all like beautiful and boutiquey and everything, and then all of a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sudden, so you're going to put all your eggs in that basket to start. I don't know. I definitely want to do stuff like that, but what I wanted to do first was learn through investing in safer
Mm.
branded hotels
Okay.
and understand their model, understand their operational systems, and then at that point, once I've been able to learn through being a part of Marriott and Hilton and Hyatt, I want to own all of them because I want to see what they all do and then peek behind the curtain. So then that way I can know what works and what doesn't work and kind of take the best of everything and see if we can't do something similar, right? Or better. But I don't think that I'm going to get there. I've made the mistake before of not taking advantage of like being able to learn from other people and trying to do it all myself.
Oh yeah, that learning on yourself is like there's a couple of ways to learn. You can expedite that by learning from somebody. You can do it by failing and making mistakes and then learning from your mistakes, or you just keep making mistakes and don't change the behavior when that same input is validated. So you figure that out. Now you said, man, I don't want to make it complex, so you find these two brands. And what two hotels did you put under contract?
So
Yeah,
we have a
let me cut in real quick and just say, hey, if you guys have any questions for Danny, any questions, I'll throw them in the chat and we'll get to them at the end there. So don't be afraid to.
Yeah. So go ahead and start asking your questions, no matter where you are, about asking about these hotels. So go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, man. I have a 4 Point Sheraton,
Yeah.
which Sheraton got acquired by Marriott, so it's technically a Marriott flag. So 4 Point Sheraton and a Holiday Inn Express, which is an IHG property, and those are in the same parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And originally really liked the 4 Points and made the offer on that one. The Holiday Inn Express was
Now,
under
why'd you
contract.
make an offer on that? Like, Was it because of the way it looked? Was it because of numbers? Was it because of location? Like what made you make an offer on that? Like why do you think it was a deal?
Yeah, it's a really good question. So at first, so it passed the eye test, right? So one of the first things that I do is I look at the revenue that the hotel is producing,
Okay.
and I look at the asking price. And, revenue multiplier is a very standard approach to looking at or to analyzing hotels. Now, I don't think that it's the one, it's not the one size fit all type of metric. There's a lot of different things that you can look at, but it passed the eye test. It was under a 3x revenue multiplier.
Now, when you say 3x multiplier, because some of the people don't know and some do know, but like revenue multiplier is another way to look at value, because sometimes when you're buying these hotels, people operate them different. So because they operate them different, their expenses that come to their net that comes to the bottom line may be lower than others. So some people like, look, if you can get this 85 room and it has a 3 times revenue or 3.5 or 4.5 times revenue, they base what their profits can be off of that. So that's just another metric or analyzing the deal. And you use the 3 times revenue model, which is really conservative. Like, I don't think it's too conservative, but I think you could have used the 3.5. I don't know, 4 in this market may be a little different, but.
Oh, no. So it was so the acquisition is under a 3x multiplier.
Yes,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's
so
under
we're
X.
Getting it for under 3x, which
No,
is really good.
That's even better. Hey, Walt, they're saying they can't hear us that good. I don't know. In the webinar chat.
Might just be.
Well, I can hear you perfect.
Everybody's good. Yeah, I know we all hear everything. Anybody in Zoom, type in the chat if you can hear us. Okay. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So it passed the eye test.
Passed the eye test, passed the revenue test.
Passed all that. So
you said the volume is
the
low.
golden rule.
Sorry.
Oh, weird.
You said the volume is low.
Oh, you're good.
Go ahead.
Cool. The golden rule of real estate is you make money when you buy.
Absolutely.
So you want to find something where the purchase price makes sense, and the purchase price made sense. And I looked at all of the, I underwrote the deal, I analyzed it. And when I did that, it passed with flying colors. It looked really, really good on paper.
Okay.
And so that's when I started the due diligence process, meaning like reaching out to the broker and kind of like gathering more information. And what I came to find was that this seller was liquidating 30 other hotels at the same time.
What?
So yeah, so he's
30. Why? What in the hell? What the heezy? Why is he unloading 30? And why did they put it on the auction or something?
He's I guess he's building a JW Marriott in Dubai. And
oh, snap.
Did
you tell him, like, look, if I close these, I get to come to that joint?
It's like, hey, I get the penthouse for one night, right, bro?
Absolutely. Like, man, he can't. But I don't even know why he doing a JW in Dubai, man. Like, man, you can't come into Dubai with a JW. Like, man, you got to come with some unnamed 30,000 story in the sky building, bro. Yeah. So, so tell me about. So you said it was below 3 times revenue, which is even better. And so, like, you're buying it for what, and it could be worth what?
So based on my, I underwrite everything on a 5-year time horizon. So what I want to see is in a 5-year time period, like what could we sell the property for, and then base the return projections off of that. So the property we're getting for so this is the 4 points is $8 million acquisition. So we're buying them separately. It's a portfolio deal, but we're buying them separately. So the 4 points is an $8 million acquisition, and pretty conservative projections for a 5-year exit is going to be somewhere around 12 million.
Oh my goodness.
So looking at about $12 million exit, and the cash flows are pretty strong there. The NOI was running at around a 30 to 35% margin, of top line. So they were already doing well. We through the coaching program, we always talk about 30% kind of being like that very conservative bar, and it was already doing that.
Nice.
Now, yeah. So and through my modeling and everything, I say, okay, I think we could probably squeeze some more juice out of it. Obviously, want to see what the management company says too, and see what they underwrite it at, and kind of compare notes, which we're supposed to be doing here in the next couple of days. So, yeah, I mean that's the 4 points. The Holiday Inn Express is a slightly different story. The margins are just as good. The top line isn't as good. But the reason I like the Holiday
And what do you mean?
Express,
What do you mean by top line? Break that down for people. What is the top line?
So top line revenue, meaning like the amount of revenue that the hotel generates on a yearly basis.
And so how many keys is this one?
So the Holiday Inn Express is 89 keys.
89 keys. And where are you getting? Are you in the 2.5? Are you crossing over 3? Where you at?
Okay, so this one is. So I believe the top line revenue, yes, the top line was 2.4 in 2022, and we're getting it for 8.5. So
that's a good number.
It's around 3.5x multiplier. So
no,
it's a very standard acquisition.
I'm just telling you, like, I picked one up for 8, and I'm like going to let it go for like a little over 10.5. And I'm at, I'm at 2.6, 2.7. So not too far off, $300,000 more, but no, I mean, that's a great number, man. And where do you think you can push the revenue to? Like, do you think you can push the revenue up anymore, or you just going to maintain it and then sell it as the value, like every year the ADR is steady increasing, the average daily rate?
So the opportunity in both of those hotels is through the corporate segment. So corporate travel represents less than 5% of the revenue for both of the hotels.
Wait a minute, what?
Which is kind of
say that. Wait a minute, hold on. You saying 5% is corporate travel?
Yeah, so less than 5% of the overall revenue that both hotels do can be attributed to corporate travel, which is really low.
That's great. So they don't have like regular accounts? Like, are you telling me this is all transient with this number?
It's almost all transient, Mike. That's the crazy thing.
That is crazy.
It's crazy. And there's
where is that? They're on the highway? What we on the corner or something?
They're on the highway. But it's less than a mile away from TPC Southwind, which is the PGA, one of the PGA golf courses. So there's some opportunity there. We're right next to a 500,000 square foot business center. Less than a mile away from FedEx International headquarters, which they've got accounts with other hotels, but there's a lot of there's a lot of contractors and stuff that come in, third party, right? So a lot of people visiting FedEx, and none of those contracts are going to these hotels. So there's a lot of opportunity to grab market share through the corporate segment, which is what we're going to be focused on. But outside of that, the hotels are performing very well right now. So the answer to your question is, how are we going to drive revenues? Well, that's the answer, and then the other thing too is the reason that I went for the Holiday Inn Express, because originally it wasn't an option, and then the buyer backed out for reasons unbeknownst to me. But but the reason is because I would rather be in competition with myself. If I'm gonna have a hotel right in the same parking lot as me, I'd rather be in competition with myself. Economies of scale, share staff, share GM, share sales manager, whatever.
No, I get it.
So that's why we went for that deal.
No, I get it. Now, how are you doing this? Like, are you partnering up? And what are the challenges? Like, you went from so have you partnered up with anybody? And then what are the challenges? I mean, literally, you went from basically being a realtor / broker / team leader to now you jumping into this whole hotel game. So how is that adjustment? Like, what's the learning curve? Like, what are your challenges, man? And do you need a partner for this?
100%. And the answer to your question in short is yes, I do need a partner for this. So here are the benefits of of the program that you've built is that we get to lean on your resume, especially during the LOI phase and like getting the contract accepted. Now, there's a caveat there, right? Because you got to know what you're doing afterwards. But I knew it was like, hey, one thing I know for certain, Mike, is this: if the deal's good, the money will be there.
That's right.
Right. So I'm not worried about like I knew the deal was good. I knew the deal was good. So I was like, all right, we're gonna put the deal together. I get to put Mike's resume on there. I get to put the fancy letterhead, everything. We're gonna get the deal. We're gonna get it in contract. And then at the same time, I was already working on finding potential KPs, potential people that I could partner with. And I got to give a shout out to Rance. So my coach Rance through the program. Rance Jones, you are the man, dude. And he was really encouraging me because he knew that I had a fairly like consistent, I wouldn't say I have a large social media presence, but I have been very consistent with my social media for a long time. And
by the way, it looks pretty good, bro. Like your imaging and your thumbnails, like that's pretty proper, bro.
Appreciate that. Yeah. So we're working, man, it's the long game with that stuff. And so Rance was like, dude, you should be posting on LinkedIn and AIS. And, like this is the stuff that I see that's working. And so I just, I took some of that and I did it. And through that, actually, I have found in the last 2 months, month and a half that I've been doing that, I have gotten more opportunities to partner with people, to
really
bring capital partners in. Yeah.
All because you started posting?
Yep.
Man,
wait. Did you guys hear what he said earlier about leveraging OPE? Tell him what that is, Mike.
OPE, other people's experience. Like there's such a big OP, what is it? Other people. Yeah, OP movement, man. There's so many OP strategies that we implement. But what's so amazing, Danny, we just shared today, you already know, some may not, but like we've literally wrapping up our challenge for the month for OPM, our OPM challenge. And then we're going for a 20 for 20 challenge, 20 million in 20 days. And we told so many people, start posting, share what you're doing. And they immediately started getting results. People started reaching out, wanting to invest. People were wanting to lend money to them, all because they were sharing their opportunities and their experiences. So that's amazing. But what's some of the challenges that you're coming across here, and what would you tell somebody to overcome those?
Yeah. So last thing I'll say about the social media thing before we move on is social media is like the new chamber of commerce. It's the new networking party. It's the new, fill in the blank. And the thing is that I could be at a networking party in New York City right now with my post. And I don't think that people quite understand. And I know I don't. So I'm still figuring it out. I'm still learning how powerful this stuff is. Now here's the catch though. Your shit's got to be on point, So like if the messaging speaks to the people that are receiving it, that have the bag or have the experience or have like the whatever, then they're going to they'll reach out to you. So what's crazy, if I had guys who have like 12, 24, 36 portfolio hotels reaching out to me saying that they wanted to partner with me. And when I got on the phone with them the first time, I was pretty transparent with them after a little bit of time. Like I was just like, hey, you guys do know I don't own any hotels, right? And they were like, what? So, and literally, right? Like they were like, what do you mean? So that's the thing, is that the networking that you can accomplish on these sites and the ability to kind of reach beyond what you originally could. You are no longer limited by your surroundings or your environment. Your environment is what you make it now because of this social media. You can really speak to people that you'd probably never be able to speak to.
That's right.
Because of it, which is kind of crazy,
That's amazing, man.
So, yeah.
And so,
go ahead.
And so, like, what do you tell somebody that's starting off? Like, what, like to even get this far, what would you tell people?
Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission. Just do it, because that's kind of what I was waiting for, is like someone to like give me, but I was like, what? No one's gonna sit here and be like, hey, Danny, like you're ready. Right.
That was, ouch.
So I was just like, fuck it, I am ready, and I just went for it.
That's right. That's right. It's never it's never the right time.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Mike, and the other thing, and I think I've said this to you before, or I said this to someone, but one of the things that I really appreciate about being in your network and having partnered with you is that there is like my coach, John says, like great leaders give their followers like this borrowed belief, right? So you may not have done it, but I am allowing you to borrow my experience and my success as the gateway, or as like this roadmap, or this idea that it is possible. Right. And that's so being a part of this ecosystem, like 6 months ago, Mike, I had no idea how I was going to do it. Like I was like, how, like, do I go like get a job as a GM somewhere? Do I go like a management company and like work with them? Do I go private equity and like do some underwriting? And then I found you, and then I was like, all right, so I'm an entrepreneur at heart, so I really didn't want to work for anyone.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, I just decided to go for it. And so thank you for, putting together this amazing program and this ecosystem that's really allowed me to really shortcut, like I get to learn from all your mistakes.
Oh my goodness.
Which is awesome.
You definitely get this shortcut, man. Learn from all my mistakes, brother. And you guys coming in the hotel industry, you have no idea what pitfalls you're avoiding because I went through them. Like, guys, you're going to be so on point, dealing with management, structuring the deal, what to look for in your management. And guys, you can find a great deal, but if your management is not on point, oh my gosh, they'll take you down, man. So, how do you find hotel deals? Like, are they on the MLS? Like, do you go to a conference? Like, where do you because then like hotels ain't on the MLS or something, or LoopNet. I mean, where do you find deals?
It's a really good question. So one of the first things that Rance and I worked on was, hey, what is going to be your focus? Doesn't mean that this needs to be what you're committed to forever, but how are you going to break into hotels? Are you going to focus on acquisitions, or are you going to focus on fundraising? And what I came to the realization is that I literally do acquisitions for my residential real estate business because I prospect for listings every single day. And so I just took the same systems that I use for prospecting for listings, and then I just deployed them into prospecting for hotel deals. And the first thing that I really did was I went after brokers. So I figured, all right, like I could go direct to seller, but that's going to take more time. So I think the best thing for me to do right now is to do a broker campaign. So I will say that having the infrastructure in my residential business, like having the VAs and I have a guy that does like phone calls for me, inside sales. And so I said, hey guys, like come over here. We're going to do like 75% of our day for the team, and then we're going to do 25% of our day for the hotel stuff. And so I basically created a little system for us to like start prospecting for hotel deals. And my ISA's job was to set 3 to 5 broker appointments for me a week. And so like I just started getting on Zoom calls with brokers all over the country. And then a few of these deals eventually they popped. And so, I just asked like this broker that I'm doing this deal with, he's a big time broker. And he sent me, he did the normal, like, oh, I'll just send you my package or whatever. And it was like 50 deals. It was like 50 deals, And I'm
Oh,
like,
snap.
yeah, I was like, Keith, what is the best deal in this package?
There you go. There you go. Like, yeah,
Right.
because they just smother you with all this. You're like, man, what I'm going to do with this, man?
Yeah.
It all looked the same. Tell me the story, bro.
Right. And so I just said, like, hey, listen, what's the best deal in this packet? And so he pointed me actually in the direction of another deal. And I went back to him and I told him why I didn't like that deal. And he said, okay, well, if that's why you didn't
So
like
wait a
those
minute.
deals,
So
then maybe
so
you should
you
check
literally, like, when somebody sent you a bad deal, or I can't even say a bad deal, a deal that didn't fit your needs,
Yep.
you then communicated that, hey, this is not a great deal, and this is why. Why would you do
have
that?
to.
Why, like, some people just get so frustrated, like, man, you sent me this BS. Why would you even send this to me? Blah, blah, blah. Why is that not the correct response? And why did you, respond back, explaining why this what didn't work for you?
Well, it goes both ways, and I think that's the fortunate thing about having been in real estate for so long is that I actually understand what it feels like to be a broker. So on the receiving end of the package, I could say, oh, why is this broker wasting my time, blah, 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 blah. But if the broker never hears back from you, then they're going to be like, oh, this guy is just, fishing for whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or so in actuality, though, like everyone wants the same thing. Everyone wants to make money. Everyone wants to do deals.
That's
right. If I go back to the broker and say, hey, this is why it doesn't work for me, then that's good. First of all, the number of buyers that do that is like probably less than 10%. So you're already, I have to assume, right? Like I know like human nature is like, oh, this deal sucks. Like I'm going to toss it in the garbage and then like move on to the next one.
I know I've done that. Like I've done that. And they're like, man, you send me this beer,
100%. And by the way, like, I don't want to sit here and be like, I do that for every single deal. But I knew this guy was a big player,
Right.
So I wanted to say, hey, this is why, and then implant the seed in his brain of this is what I am looking for. And then through that conversation, he was like, well, if you don't like that one for that reason, then you should look at this deal. And then that's how I came across these, and then I liked them. And
so you're working on your reputation. It also shows them that you know what you're talking about, right?
100%.
So it makes 100%. Respond, so you're not leaving them hanging. Yeah.
Now,
to piggyback off of that.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Just to piggyback off of that, Joe. I have immersed myself into the industry over the last 6 months. I've gone to a couple of hotel conferences.
You sure did. What conferences did you go to?
I went to the AHLA, which is American Hospitality and Lodging Associations.
Yeah. That was in Vegas, was it?
Yeah, it was. Okay. Yeah, it was just an excuse to go to Vegas.
Yeah, that was it. Did you catch a show while you were there, or you created a show when you were there?
Yeah. It was probably more of the latter. But hey, man, I'm enjoying my youth while I still got it.
You get it, bro. Get it while you can. And then so
wait.
Go ahead, Joe.
A formula. So there's a formula happening here. So you said, you picked a focus point, right? You and Rance talked about that. So there was a lot of focus happening, right? So when when you're thinking about how did you lead up to success, there's some takeaways there. So focus points, but also Mike, you talk about like the gap between idea and execution. Getting rid of that, right? Danny, it seems like when you came into this, you were ready to strike the iron, right? And
no, Danny came in with his now o'clock hat on.
Yeah.
And he got rid of that procrastination and just went all in. Like, and as much as I teach people, I teach them that for a reason, because when I was younger, especially your age, I just jumped in. Then I started like dipping my toe in it, like, let me see how this works. But and
it's funny. I was just gonna say he did what Rance told him to do too, and he listened to you. You implement what you were told, and I think that makes a big difference. Sometimes it's easy. I see people want to go and do what they think is right.
No, man, follow your coach, man. Like the coach still has a coach. I got 2 coaches. Matter of fact, my other coach is gonna be with me full time. I'm working a deal now, but the big Robert Allen, the true OG, is going to come on and be with me on a regular basis. and he's going to write a book with me. I don't know if people know that, but we're going to the New York bestseller.
Like
All right, that's where we're going, baby. But no, man, so many great things. And if I would have questioned him and not just moved, like literally working with him, it changed my payoff. I accelerated my payoff quickly. I'm not talking 6 months, 12 months, a year. Like in 60, 90 days, I received my payoffs because I did what he said.
Mm-hmm.
Immediately, I implemented those things. I remember when I would kind of try to do it my way. It worked a little bit. Sometimes it didn't work at all. But when I did what they told me to do immediately, that's when I started seeing the payoffs.
100%.
So, Dan, how do people find you? I'm going to ask a couple more. Well, before we get to this, Rodrigo asked, he had a question. What kind of entity is the best for the big deals? Well, first of all, I'm going to let you say what kind of entity are you going to form? Are you going to form a LLC? You're going to form an S corporation? Or you form a C corporation? What corporation do you think you're going to find?
So that is an attorney question. Mm-hmm. And from the 3 or 4 conversations that I've had with the syndication attorney up until this point, mm-hmm. I believe we're going straight LLC. And there's going to be 3 of them. So there's going to be one per hotel and then a holding LLC that governs it's kind of like the holding company mm-hmm. of the 2. So that's how we plan on structuring it. So in Rodrigo, like, it all depends on what your needs are. Like, I'm not saying I use LLCs for all my deals. But now that I'm doing some online e-commerce, I have one of these accountants telling me I should do an S. Then somebody came and started talking about a C. But when you get into a C, they talk about the double tax. But then they got other different write-offs. So, I think your best bet is to get with an accountant, because for everybody it's a little different. All right. So you got to go to the best one for you. And to determine which one's that. But Danny, before we get out of here, man, I just want to thank you so much for sharing your story and sharing how you got here and inspiring our guests, inspiring our people, and inspiring people to move to another level. How do people reach out to you, brother? Yeah, man, I think the 2 best platforms for them to connect with me would be either through LinkedIn. So you can find me literally Danny Gould, and I think it's linkedin.in/Danny Gould. I think I own that URL. Or you can just type in the search box there. Should be pretty easy to find me. I have the big hair. As Ace Ventura hair, I think someone.
And Gould, so. you spell it Gould. Is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah, so not Gold, Gould.
ULD. Okay. That is correct. And then. That's LinkedIn or Instagram. You can find me at Real, REAL, Danny Gould, GOULD. So at Real Danny Gould. And that's more of like the video content side of things. And then if you're looking for more like written form content, deal analysis kind of content, then you can follow me on LinkedIn. So I share very different content on both platforms.
Well, that's amazing, man. Everybody give it up for my man, Danny Gould, for sharing the gems, sharing that it's possible. Okay. If you want to learn more about Danny, just hit him up on LinkedIn. That's the way, and he'll hit you back, man. Appreciate you guys for joining us today, man. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday night. We get out of here, man. And I ain't going to go too long, man. We only got about 2 minutes here. I just want to say, man, I want to highlight what Danny said here, man. It was about belief systems. It was about taking action. I share with you procrastination. Procrastination is nothing but fear, finding excuses and reasons. And for some other people, it's about belief systems. Some of you were told that you weren't able to do certain things because of what you look like or who you were or where you were born, or you don't have enough money in order to achieve this status. That's only for the wealthy. Well, we always continue to tell you that That is simply a lie. The problem is there is a lie in the middle of your belief. Literally, belief is spelled BELIEF. And right there's a lie. And so what we are telling you, what we're sharing you, and why we do these things is if you don't have enough belief right now, borrow from us. You can just pick this up and utilize this belief and know that it is possible. See, when we're going after dreams, nothing is impossible, but it's yet I'm possible. All right? Plausible, feasible, attainable. And if you take those steps, I promise you, you'll change your life for the rest of your lives. See, no longer will there be more month than money. All right, did you catch that? No longer will there be more month than money. You will have more money than months that proceed. Hey guys, I just want to say thank you again, but God bless you. God keep you. May God bless you beyond your belief, but not your capacity. And remember, you're one big deal away. Peace.
Recording stopped.